I am walking to Loon Lake, mile 22.1 on the E&N Railway, Port Alberni Subdivision. It's about 6:45 a.m. Civil twilight starts in about 15 minutes. It'll be light then. Sunrise is about 7:35. Coming up to the trestle here. This trestle is just a stopping point for me. What I'm after is the next trestle, mile 21.8, because I want to experience that for foggy dawn. And once it lights up, there should be some really nice fall colors. But for now, mile 22.1. Often here at Loon Lake, there's people camping at the boat launch area, but doesn't appear to be any people this long weekend for Thanksgiving. Beside me, between these two trestles, is the Aerosmith siding coming up to the west switch right here. Both switches are intact, but the siding is badly overgrown, and that's just from the last 6 years or so. Before then, it was kept nice and clean by the East End track gang. Here's where the siding branches off on the west end of Aerosmith siding. I'm not expecting a whole lot of broom and weeds on the track, but there's a lot of leafy trees encroaching from either side. I've always liked first glimpses of things, and this is the first glimpse of Mount Arrowsmith. Oh wow, I got a moon way up. Friendly giant up there. So now, this is the view I get to enjoy as dawn happens. So I'm now at the east end of the Aerosmith siding, and it's just going to mesh with the main line here in a few meters. And then I've got the longest trestle on the E&N's Port Alberni Subdivision right here, and it really just skirts a swamp, but it is the longest trestle. Definitely not the highest. Here's the switch. Make a good photograph coming up to the swampy trestle. I'm taking a photograph here, getting the switch as well as the tracks and some of the mountain. I did a bit of brushing to remove some of the tree branches that were encroaching. There, I'm doing my part. More clear view to the switch now from where I am. I'm a landscaper. As is often the case here, within just the space of a few minutes, the cloud is moving on Mount Aerosmith. It was obscured a few moments ago, now it's slightly visible again. As opposed to the long hike style of trip I've done recently, as seen in my videos near Cameron Lake, this is more of a linger and stay type of video, where this is my destination, just an 8-minute walk from my car, and I want to be here just to experience the changing light of the morning. And then my hope is that when the sun comes up, that a lot of color will be illuminated in some of these swamp bushes. When I'm preparing for a trip like this, I study my old photographs of the same location. What I'm looking for is just compositions that were nice, as well as looking for, if I'm here in the spring or summer, looking for plants and trees that I think might be nice fall colors. So I'm just going to work my way forward bit by bit, and I think near the first Refuge Bay fire barrel holder is a good spot that I will end up at. I can take my time, Got some nice fog here, and the light just continues to improve, which means my exposure time continues to decrease, so I don't have to wait as long to see what I've got. Just turning around here. And that's looking west. Through there, invisible because of all the trees, is the east switch of the Aerosmith siding. I wanted some nice hot coffee for this trip, so I brought my thermos bottle. And by doing that, I'm bringing SVI Rail Link once again to the Port Alberni subdivision. In just the last 5 minutes, it's lightened up quite a bit, and as a result, the color in these weeds is all of a sudden becoming visible. I mean, I like being here at dawn. I love twilight for lighting, but it is very much of a morning monochrome. And there is something nice about the last little bit of civil twilight when we get some color showing finally. And that color is just going to keep on getting better and better. I've been 10 minutes in this same spot, just enjoying the brightening up of the scene. The color is coming out, as you just saw. So I'm going to move on down the trestle a bit further. As I do that, just the angle of the swamp changes, backgrounds change. This trestle is generally in okay condition. The deck, for the most part, the ties are pretty good. Oh, I like the reflection down there. But there are some bad ties, and good hikers, thank you very much, have tagged most of them. So you can note them and be careful, because right now I'm going right down the middle, and that's not a good idea for bad ties. Looks like 35mm film down there with that reflection. I like it. I'm just amazed how from one shot to the next, one after the other, lighting changes both by just brightening of ambient light, but then the fog moving around on the treetops here. Every photograph is different. Here's where I am, edge of the trestle. I like the far edge from where I'm pointing because it gives more of the trestle, and I like the leading lines. Here's where I am. So 1 foot on the rail, 1 foot on the side. Tripod legs are balanced right on the edge. The other leg on the rail. The water right beside me. You'll learn that you don't make sudden movements, and you always remember where your feet are and where your trestle legs are. And most important, you never forget that you are on a trestle. This right here is the composition I had in mind when I was doing my planning for today. I was expecting a whole lot more color. I guess what's in the swamp is mainly grass, and it is just yellowy brown. I was expecting a bunch of reds and oranges. This is looking west I am walking between the mile 21.8 trestle and I'm heading to the 21.4 trestle. This is a nice straight stretch. This is 5 or 6 minutes of walking. One of the neat things on this straight stretch is, even though it's 0.4 of a mile, you can see the trestle on either end as you're walking. I mean, it's way off in the distance, but you can see. So, I don't know, for motivation for walking, sometimes it helps to actually see what your destination is. You can see your progress, although sometimes there's that, are we ever going to get there? All sorts of mind games when you do hiking, or at least for me. I think it means I'm impatient. I love that sound. There's all sorts of running water around at this time of year in mid-October. So the mile 21.4 trestle that I'm coming up to is one of my favorites. It's short, both in height and length, and it's just a timber pile trestle. There's nothing too exciting about that, but it's in a very pretty scene of just the swampy end of Summit Lake. That's the lake that's got like 3 names. Some people call it Junior Lake, some people call it Dog Lake. A bit of color here. This is nice. This is why this is one of my favorite spots on Vancouver Island. In fact, it's so easy to get to in terms of drive from where I live and then walking from where I park, that it's just a go-to place when I need to experience some what I can call trestle tranquility. In the past year, when I've been here, I've been going through some tougher times, and this has always been a place that I've come to and found peace and contentment. I've decided to continue walking railway eastward. I'm going to head down to milepost 21.1 area because I'm looking for, see if there's any evidence still remaining of where there was a spur there. Now, the spur was right at the summit, where they called Locharkaig. And the doubling spur was used to store rail cars temporarily while the train basically took the hill a few cars at a time. Actually, like half the train at a time. That was the idea. Pull half the train up the steepest hill, leave the cars at the top, go back down, pull the rest up, reassemble, and continue. So that doubling spur, which is going to be on the right hand side as I'm walking here, was removed sometime in the 1970s. Thank you, Carl, for that information previously. And so I want to see just what might be visible left. I'm not expecting to see ties, definitely not rails, no evidence of the switch, so I guess I'm just looking for an overgrown short grade that could have held maybe, I don't know, is it 15 cars, 10 cars, something like that. So I just have to start looking. Right here, there's a rock right beside the track. So this is not where the spur was. I'm looking for an open area. This bit of a mystery walk for me here will finish easily, because once I see the mile 21 sign, then I know I've gone past where it used to be, and so I don't have to continue looking aimlessly. The spur was supposed to have been at mile 21.1, so once I see 21, I've gone too far. I think I found it. I'm standing here, I'll give you context, looking railway east. It's a gap of nothing, and then there's a built up grade right through there, and then behind that is a gully before you get to the slope up to the highway. So the built up grade would be the spur. I'm gonna go inside there. Oh yeah, I'm in the spur. Built up grade again. There's the slope going down. I don't know if you can see that. Oh, you can see the ties. Through there is the main line. When I say you can see the ties, this tie would have been right here. It's rotted. And it just continues on with ties. Looking this way, it's interesting because there are some rails stored here. Would make sense to have them stored on a grade that was the spur. And there's some tie plates and other thingies. I don't know what these things are called. And I get to walk through here. Yeah, there's old ties here. So this would have been the spur. Nice to see. With some old rail here. Oh yeah. So again, there's mounds of dirt that would have been a tie. There's a tie right there that the rail is being held on for storage. And there's a windfall tree back there. But this is the spur. Now I'll walk out to the main line. Looking railway east. Spurs right through here. Easy to find because of this big windfall that's been chainsawed off. Thank you to whoever did that. And the grade for the spur is right through there. Here's milepost 21, nicely camouflaged by the trees. And yeah, there is no doubling spur here, so I'm too far east. This is my turnaround on my little walk. So that's looking around the corner, goes into a rock cut right beside Highway 4. And I'll head back railway west over those 3 trestles again. Looking railway west, and then right through here is the grade of the old doubling spur. And railway east. I'm back at mile 21.4, and wow, things have brightened up. Sure changes the lighting for photography. Reflections are still really nice. I look forward to seeing the other 2 trestles in nicer light. It is so peaceful here. Bit of wind, but the creeks sure give some great sound at this time of year as they're running pretty strongly. Oh, beautiful. But now, lighting from behind me, this is nice. This is the mile 21.8 trestle, the longest trestle on the E&N's Port Alberni subdivision. I want to see what everything looks like brightened up. Now, I'm going to be shooting this direction because the brighter sky behind me would wash things out the other way. I was hoping in my planning that this would be really colorful, and it's slightly colorful. Moving westward, just about to get to the Aerosmith siding at the east switch. This siding runs beside the railway from this trestle, mile 21.8, all the way to the next trestle, mile 22.1. Bye-bye. This is the part of the video where I can appear a bit angry or bitter or grumpy because this area was clear 6 years ago. Kept clear by hard work by the East End Track Gang, part of the Canadian Railroad Historical Association. And now it is like this. People might think that I'm a grumpy, bitter complainer based on my videos, complaining about the broom and overgrowth. And back here, the vegetation has been allowed to come back and choke off the railway. And it's Thanksgiving. I really am a grateful person. I just get ticked at just things that shouldn't be the way they are. Doesn't impact my peace. It doesn't impact my enjoyment right now of being in this fabulous location, but I do need to acknowledge it. This could have been clear. Kept the train ready shape. And I'm hopeful that it can be like that again in the future. This is beautiful though. Look at just a nice day. The saplings are nice. Those trees would be great anywhere other than on the railway grade. I've spotted some nice fall colors ahead, so I'm going to break through here to the siding. See if there's a photo opportunity. A bit of color. Looking back, railway east. Nice colors. I'm almost at the Loon Lake Trestle, mile 22.1. I've never seen the mile 22 post and sign, so I wonder if it still exists. Here's some more of the siding with Loon Lake. Oh yeah, I'm on the siding. It's hard to see. Let's go back to the main line. Here's the west end of the Aerosmith siding, which means I'm coming to the Loon Lake Trestle. And some nice views of Loon Lake. There are some people fishing here now. This will be the first time I get a chance to look at the fire damage on this trestle in daylight. That damage happened sometime in spring or early summer of 2020. Water level here is really high because of the beaver dam. So it keeps the trestle bathed in water, which is not good for the timbers, but it does make it look pretty. Oh, so pretty. Okay, let's look at the damage. That's the extent of it. Right on the post down below. I'm guessing that the fire was planted down there. Someone thought it was a good idea to put a little campfire on a wooden trestle soaked with creosote. Who knows? Hard to guess the stupidity. There's some charcoal down there. So the trestle the tie I'm on here, these two ties, would get replaced. Actually, how many do we get replaced? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 6 or 7 ties get replaced, as well as the edge here. Finishing at miles 22.1, and now to walk back. Getting close to the Loon Lake logging road. This is where it's overgrown